All right, I think we're good. All right, guys, thank you for taking some time tonight. I will try to get through this as quickly as possible, but I also know we have so many new people joining us, which is awesome. And we try to keep everything that we do as simple as possible. And it's so easy to make everything so confusing. And I hear I'm overwhelmed. I hear there's just so much. And I'm just like, that's because you choose to. I'm just going to be super honest. If you're saying you're overwhelmed or you're saying there's just so much, it's because you're choosing for it to be that way. Because guys, this business is really simple. But yes, it's work, but it's really simple. If you do the very simple things that you are supposed to do every day, then it's just a consistency thing. So everything goes back to your own health and fitness. And we'll talk about that in the slide here in a second. But I was talking to Christine earlier about it, and it's the stopping and starting that a lot of people do. And you see a lot of people do that with their business, but they don't do that with their fitness. So it's the same way. If you keep doing the stopping and starting on your fitness journey and you never get results, it's the same way with your business. If you keep doing the stopping and starting constantly in your business, you're never gaining that momentum. You're never seeing the results you want to see in your business because you keep constantly stopping instead of just being consistent, just doing the little things that you know you need to do to get to that goal that you have set for yourself. All right, so fingers crossed, we're going to share the screen and pray that I can get it to work, because it typically doesn't work for me when I do things like this, so we shall see. And of course, it doesn't want to, so hold on one sec. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Why is it not pulling up my main screen? All right, we'll go this way. Okay, can you guys see that? I'm hoping that's a yes. Okay. Christine, I can see you. Can you see that? Awesome. All right, well, let's kick it. All right, here we go. Skip that page. Oh, I forgot to say, for those of you that are just new, my name is Jamie Thompson. Sorry, I forgot to even introduce myself. That's who I am. So I've been a coach, guys, for 9 years. So I will tell you, I'm going to go through like really basic things, and then we'll dive into some things to really kind of help you with getting focused on where you're at. This call, yes, is really awesome for a new coach, but guess what? Going through all this stuff again today, I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome to remember that, because I've been in this 9 years, and it's great to go back and hear things and see things again, because I'm a constant student. I'm always learning. Like every single day, I am working on being the best coach and best person and best mom and wife that I can possibly be. So number one, when you say yes to your coach and you got signed up, you should have some type of welcome email. You're going to usually typically get something from Beachbody too. It's kind of hit and miss, I think, sometimes, but I send a welcome little message to my coaches. I tell my coaches, dig right in first thing, do the first 30 training. That is found right in the coach online office in the back. There's a first 30 minutes, what to do in your first 30 hours, what to do in your first 30 days. I have them do that. I have a little all about me form, or whatever your coach kind of has, so that they kind of can create little welcome posts for you, because that part is really important to welcome you into the team. And you just want to make sure you're staying in contact with your coach. Now, I will tell you, before I set up any type of one-on-one call, because guess what? My time is really important to me. And I want to give my time to people who are showing up and want to do this as well. And you kind of know that right from the get-go with a lot of people, even though a lot of people are like I was scared. I was unsure. I didn't know what in the world I was really signing up for. So you kind of drag your feet sometimes. But I will tell you, learn from my mistakes. Don't drag your feet. Don't drag your feet. Like, do the things that your coach is saying, hey, do this. Like, do this, do these things. And listen, you've got to be super coachable, and you just have to trust the person that you said yes to. They're not going to steer you the wrong way. They're giving you the things so that you can be successful too. Then I will schedule a one-on-one call, and in a one-on-one call is where I go over fears, hesitations. We knock those right out, and then we set goals. And I want them to know exactly what should be happening in their first 30 days. All right, so here's just basic things. These are all things that when I first started, I was like, I had to just dive into what are the things I need in my life that are gonna help me. And Christine's laughing because these were things that you needed to know where to call. You need to know to go where to find answers for yourself. Google is my best friend. YouTube is my best friend. Those were like my teachers as I was learning how to be a coach. For you guys, you also have our team page. You have your Uplines team page, and Beachbody Champions is an amazing place to be. If you are not in Beachbody Champions yet, go join that page. There's so much training there, but let me warn you, don't get stuck in the training circle and then you're doing nothing. Like you're just like, oh, I'm just going to train all day long and I'm going to watch trainings all day long and then I'm not going to apply anything. Don't get stuck in that wheel. All right, let's talk active, inactive. I'm not going to do like deep stuff. We're just going over basic things. So if you are a coach, just coach status, you're active, that's 50 PV. Guys, PV is personal volume. If you take that step and you're like, hey, guess what? I really want to actually do something with this. I'm going to become an Emerald coach and I'm going to have 2 people get started with me. You have to have 90 PV to stay active. Next step then is diamond. That's your next big jump in really building your business, and you have to have 100 PV. So that is more that you're going to learn as you go. Don't let that kind of stuff overwhelm you. Just wanted to kind of give you a little glimpse into what that looks like so that you have a really good idea of what needs to happen for those things to be happening for you. All right, so the big reason why we talk about Emerald in your first 30 days, when you make that decision and we're like, help people, help yourself, because you want to hit that Emerald rank ASAP. And Emerald means you're going to start getting a part of that team cycle bonus, because guess what? I don't know anybody who doesn't want to make a little extra money in helping other people. I mean, why not get as much out of it as you possibly can, guys? Like Emerald rank gives you an extra $14 on a cycle, and you'll understand that later as you go. We won't dive into that here. There's so much training on that for you to understand. And I'll be super honest, like this kind of stuff just like blew my mind. I was just like, I don't get it. All I know is I was getting a paycheck every week. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever I'm doing, obviously I listened to my coach and I just set it up the right way and I was making money. I didn't make myself crazy trying to figure it out. I didn't let that hold me back from inviting people or think I needed to be some type of money expert on how this all works. I didn't allow that to stop me. I just listened to my coach. I invited people, I added people, and I was helping them to do the same thing. It was just duplication. So you can see as you move up in your ranks, you're obviously making more money on your team cycle bonuses as well. All right, moving on. So this part, the picture's old over on the right. I found this like on one of my things earlier and I'm like, that's super old, but anyway. You do have what's considered a weak leg and a strong leg, guys, in your business. And as you work with your coach and kind of learn this stuff, you're gonna understand what that really means. But it is important to kind of understand as you start adding people into your team, because you're gonna wanna know like which is which and where do I put my spouse when I get them signed up. And if somebody's not really going to be a working coach, they're just a discount coach, like where's the best place to kind of put them? And all of that comes to understanding like your preferred placement and what happens if you put somebody in the wrong spot. You kind of have a time frame to get that stuff fixed. Again, talk to your coach. Stay in contact with your coach because they're there to help you. They're going to help you understand what to do and get yourself set up so that you're not making the wrong moves, or you're not signing somebody up without getting a challenge pack and then you're losing out on money and you're losing out on Success Club points. I mean, people do stuff like that all the time, and because they don't reach out to their coach and ask. So stay connected. That's my biggest thing I can say is stay connected and don't be scared to ask for help on this stuff. That's what we're here for. We want you to have everything set up so that it helps you to be successful in, making extra money as much as you possibly can. We don't want you to mess that up. Okay, important calls. So this is another part of staying connected to your team, staying connected to your coach. You want to make sure you're always getting on the National Wake Up Call. It's at 11 o'clock every Monday, and it's on different forms. I mean, you can listen to it on the podcast if you can't watch it live on the page. And I cannot think of the name of the page right now because I always forget the name of that page. But it's always plugged right into our team page. You can even watch it right off of there. You can call in if you need to call in. Like, there's so many ways, guys, to do this. I will tell you, 9 years in, I have never missed a National Wake Up Call. From the very first one I was told to start listening to, I have never missed one, ever. Because it's so important that I've stayed connected to this company, that I believe in 100% and what they are teaching me. And I've never disconnected myself from doing those things. So stay connected to that. That should be your top number one call. Team calls, I do a team call. My upline does a team call. I know Christine does a team call that she shares with us as well, which is awesome that we have so many places for you guys to learn and grow. We also do special things too. So if you're staying connected to the team page, you're going to know when we are doing action hours today, together. We do team workouts on Saturday mornings together. So you can hop in the Zoom link and you can do a workout with the team. So those are all parts of being a part of the community and growing, because it is called Team Beachbody. You don't do this alone. So stay connected to your team. All right, Success Club. So this is such a huge, huge part, and we could do a whole entire call on this, but this is just to kind of get your feet wet, see what Success Club is. Number one, your job when you say, I want to be a coach, and you say, I'm going to help people, that means you're going to hit Success Club, because you're going to help 3 new people, minimum 3 new people every single month. And when you do that, you're hitting Success Club. And that gives you what they call Success Club points. And you earn these points. And there's different types of programs that you can be a part of. You can get customer leads. And the really fun part is there's trips involved in Success Club. And I will tell you, that was one thing that drew me in when I hit my first, I got to go on a trip. And I didn't even know. I didn't even know what Success Club was. I didn't even know how I earned a trip. I was just doing my job as a coach. And I was helping people and I was getting these points. And I'm like, okay, this is awesome. Now I'm going to the Bahamas, to Atlantis. And then I was like, okay, now I get this. Like, this is what I do. This is how you keep doing it. I've never not earned a trip since then. So that can be a goal for you. It's okay. It's okay to have a goal like that, guys. If you want a goal to have free trips, that's okay. You can set that goal. All right, challenge groups. That is your job to help people, and you're going to help them in a challenge group. So one of the things, if you're brand new, or maybe you're like, you've been a discount coach, you're like, okay, I'm taking this step, I'm going to start doing this, then you got to make an announcement. You've got to put it out there into the universe. So talk to your coach, come up with a way that really fits with your brand, who you really are, and come up with a really good post to put out there into the world to announce that, you're taking this step, because you should be excited. I mean, I was so excited when I really started doing this that I was like talking to anyone and everyone that had a pulse, because I just wanted everyone to know that this amazing thing was like in my life now. And I wanted everybody to have a part of that. There was a really good analogy that you should be excited and inviting people and talking to them like you would call up your best friend and say, hey, let's go to the Beyonce concert. I mean, like, that is how you should feel when you're sharing this with people. And it's not any different. You're excited to go see Beyonce or your favorite person in concert. Like, you should be excited to bring people in to do something that can truly change their life. So that comes with sharing, your why. And we'll dive into that a little bit here more in a minute. When challenge groups, you've got to pick a date. You can't just fly by the seat of your pants. You've got to decide, like, okay, I'm going to run a challenge group with my coach. I'm going to run a challenge group with other coaches. I'm going to run my own challenge group. Maybe you're just like, I'm doing this. Let's do this. Pick a date. 3 to 4 weeks out gives you plenty of time to have everything ready, gives you plenty of time to invite. know how long you want it to be. Is it going to be 21 days? Is it going to be 30 days? Are you going to use one program? Is it going to be multi-program? What are your requirements? I will tell you, as a business coach, I'm a business owner. Yes, Shakeology is a requirement to be in my challenge groups, because guess what? That's how I got started. I got started with followed Turbo Fire from beginning to end, and I drank Shakeology, and then I started to learn nutrition along the way, because we didn't have all the awesome things we have now, but that's where I started. So I say to people, do you want your results or do you want Beachbody results? Because Beachbody results means you do these things, because this is what gives you those results. So yes, that's a requirement to me, because this is my livelihood. This is my business. This is how I support my family. So yeah, absolutely. Are you going to use a Facebook group? Are you going to use the challenge tracker app? So things that you can learn, which kind of fits you best and what's going to work better for you. Here is a big thing. As a brand new coach, and I tell my new coaches, you should be doing some type of monthly free group. Why? Because this is how you build your community, yourself, your own. This gives you a space every single month that you can run. I do 5 days, and it is where I get to build more relationships with people. I get to share more of me, and I really pour myself into that 5 days of just, they didn't invest in anything, but they get to see a little glimmer of more of who I am and what I offer. And guess what? Now I have a whole bunch of people I get to invite to my actual challenge group. So every single month, it's the same exact group. I just change what we're doing. I just change the name of it. I just change a little bit of the format of it. But every month, I'm adding value to this group and helping people to kind of see a little piece of what we do as coaches in a big challenge group. So I highly suggest, if you are not doing this yet, to run your own monthly group. All right, so obviously that gives me the chance and opportunity to invite them. Hey, you like this, you like the support, you like this accountability and whatever we're doing, but here's the big picture. Like, here's what you really get. Now, granted, don't ever post a picture like this. I think we all kind of know that now. But you are going to earn a commission, guys, from helping somebody to get the full package deal, meaning they're going to get the fitness, they're going to get the Shakeology, they're going to get their meal plan, they get you as a coach. But I really like saying to people, I'm not selling this, I'm selling my community. I'm selling the accountability. I'm selling that they get this group of women who are all on the same journey together. That's what I talk a lot with my people, because that's the part that I love because I'm super introverted and I'm not going to the gym, and I do most of my things, at home. So to know that I have this community of women that are all there all the time at my access for support anytime I need it, that's amazing. And that's what I share with people, because there's lots of women out there that need that too. So with that, don't ever give your website or anything publicly. Don't just hand them over and say, here, go look at my website. That's like a no. Your job as a coach is to find out what they need, what is the best option for them. So that's where you're going to learn a lot. And guys, it comes down to practice. It comes down to really you got to do it over and over and over again. It's just like anything else. It takes practice to get into that groove of really how to talk to people and ask questions and really be a good listener and where they are and where they struggle, and then helping them by creating that share cart, and that's what you send to them. So I always tell people, don't ever give anything out to people and tell them, hey, go look at my website. That's like the worst thing you could possibly do. All right, so let's talk about goals. If you've got a piece of paper and you want to take notes on this might be a good time to do it. We're going to talk a little bit about goal setting and your why. So this is like a really old picture, by the way. All right, so one of the reasons that a lot of people do the up and down, quitting, stopping, we have found over the years is because they don't have a strong why. And if you don't have that fire in your belly, why, then it's going to be super easy to do the stop and start. So you've got to find why you are really wanting to do this. And it is not to help people. That's a no-brainer. we all are helping people. We all are helping people to make these changes and get started, but there has to be more to it to make you get up out of bed, to make you do it on the days you don't have the energy to do the things that you need to do. So really diving into why you're truly doing this is going to help you with sticking with it. So, for me, I talked to a lot of people, and, they find out they really don't like their job. Like, they get up every morning and they truly don't like their job. And they would rather not have to get up every day and leave their family to go do a job they don't like. So guess what? That's a really awesome why, because this is a pretty awesome job. I absolutely love it. Some hate being broke. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, here you go. Side hustle that you can fit in the pockets. I've seen it done. I have seen people do it. So it can happen for people who are missing out on, wanting to be with their kids. They want to be home with their kids. They don't want to take their kids to daycare. They don't want to miss out on the things that their new baby are doing and somebody else is seeing that. That's a huge fire in the belly. Why, guys? Maybe you just want some extra money to take your family on a vacation that you don't get to normally do. Maybe you want extra income to give more to your church, maybe to give more to your favorite charity, to help a family that you really know that's in need. If you have that extra money to give more, there you go. I mean, that is what we are. We are givers with being coaches. So give yourself something to really work towards. Maybe your kids are getting ready to go to college. Maybe you're hitting that part in your life where you're going to have to start taking care of your own parents. I mean, set yourself up to be able to take care of your family even more. I mean, there's so many things that you can set as a true fire in the belly why, and write it down and share it. Don't keep it to yourself. So you really want to stop and think about, okay, as you're starting, where do you see yourself in 3 months? Where's your goal at, income-wise, rank-wise, 9 months, a year from now, 5 years from now? Because you should be telling yourself, I'm still going to be here 5 years from now if you're serious about what you're doing. Do you want to do more traveling? Do you want to leave your job? Do you want to earn a 6-figure income? Is that something that would help your family tremendously to make an extra $100 a month, $100 a week? I mean, little things like that. For me, it started very little when I noticed little changes that were happening, to be able to go and pay for groceries and I didn't have to think about it. Like, that was awesome, to fill up my gas tank and not have to worry about it. Those were the little things at the beginning for me. And that over time, because I was consistent and I never quit, that grew. Okay, write your goals daily. This is so huge. When I do my daily morning sit down affirmations, I write my goals down every single day. That is visualizing. You're putting it into your head before it's like actually happening. And remember, goals are not tasks. Tasks are like the things you're doing. Goals are like the things you're going after. Does it mean that you're a failure if you don't hit the goal that you set? Absolutely not, guys. Failure is how we grow. It's how we, learn. But a big part of this is having a push goal. So that's your master goal. So for some coaches, elite is a really good push goal because you have all of these things that have to be happening that are going to not only help yourself in your own business, but all of these other coaches on your team and your team are going to have to be moving forward as well. So you're helping a lot of people in that process by setting that goal. You know that you have to be 5-star. You know that your income is going to increase by doing those things. You're going to be hitting certain team goals to make that push goal a reality. You can set weekly goals. Bring on 2 new coaches this week, whatever that might be. Bring in 2 new people with a challenge pack this week. So weekly goals. You can also set monthly goals. You can set goals like hit Success Club 5 by the 5th, hit Success Club 10 by the 10th. Those are goals, not tasks. The tasks are the things that you have to be doing, obviously, like a to-do list to get yourself to hit those things. And don't set safe goals. I see people do this. They make these little safe goals so that they don't have to stretch themselves. They don't have to get out of that little bubble. Like, they feel like, oh, well, I can set this goal, but I'm still kind of over here safe in my little bubble. Talk to your coach, and I promise your coach, if they're doing their job, they're going to stretch you. They're going to make you set that goal higher They're going to make you make that goal closer to the date, and it's going to push you. And you can't be scared in this business to push yourself. That's where you truly do go. You know, you're going to grow. You're going to learn to dig deeper. You're going to know that, you know, it's going to make you a better person by doing those things. All right, those goals. All right, time management. I hear all the time, how do you balance it all? So number one, let's just knock that right out real quick, that there is no such thing as balance, that there is priorities, and setting yourself up with priorities is going to help you with time management. So number one, if you're just treating this like a hobby, guys, it is completely and absolutely going to pay like one. If you're not serious about doing the things that you need to do and you're making time for it and you're making it a priority, it's not going to pay you like a job. So a lot of people will say, oh, I'm putting in like all this time. Well, if you're scrolling or you're watching hours and hours of training, but you're not applying anything, you're not actually talking to people, that's not work. That's not going to pay you. That's not an income producing activity. So that's you know, it's a hobby for you basically, and you're going to get paid like one. But when you say, this is my action hour, these are my things I'm doing in this hour, I'm setting my timer, I'm making it a major priority for me. It's like a job, like you are your own boss. So granted, you can't really fire yourself, but I say this all the time. At the end of the day, would you fire yourself? Would you still have a job if you had a boss? So I guess that's where you got to really get real with yourself and say, am I treating this like a job or am I treating this like a hobby? Because you're going to get paid with the one you choose. Each day, you just got to focus on what is going to bring you the most success, and the most success is going to be income producing activities. That means inviting and following up, and we'll hit that in a second. So having power hours, action hours, the things that are going to set you up to make time for it and make it a priority for you, and hang in there. I know it is so easy to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. So that's when you just stop and you focus on what's most important, drop all the other things that aren't important, and you get down to the things that are going to move your business forward. All right, let's talk inviting and following up. So number one, this is the absolute most important vital behavior that we have in our company, in our business, and it is the absolute biggest one that's skipped. It is the last thing usually on most people's lists, out of fear of what people think, out of fear of what other people say, and you're not allowing yourself to do this part, and you still are allowing yourself to skip it. But this should be the first thing that you are truly getting yourself focused into. So as new coaches, a lot of people say, who do I invite? That's where you should be helping new coaches make that list of 100. Do that brainstorm, that brain dump, whatever they call it, I forget what they call it. Come up with, you know, that list of 100 to work from. That's going to be your first group of invites that are going out. You're excited, you're starting something new. These are the people that you know, you want them to join you, and you just have to put it out there and you just have to invite. But none of it matters if you're not tracking. So you need to stay in contact with your coach on your tracking system. Everybody has their own tracking system that works for them. There's tons of options, but if you're not tracking, you're not going to win this. It's going to be a big failure from the get-go if you're not tracking what you're doing in your business, guys, and who you're talking to. And that's from experience, because I was a fly by the seat of my pants in the beginning, always working my business on the go, and I didn't write anything down because I was just constantly in my car, working my business in my car between kids and driving and everything, and that came back to really get me because I wasn't tracking it. So income producing activities, like we said, you're doing the invites, but you also have to do the second part to that, and that's in the follow-up. You're going to learn in trainings on what exactly to say, and really diving into later, like, who are you inviting? Like, who are the people you're going to invite? I hear people say all the time, I've just run out of people to talk to. Well, that means that you're not doing a really important part, and you're not continuing to add to your network, guys. You should never run out of anyone to talk to. 9 years in, I can never say I have ran out of people to talk to. Why? Because I constantly add to my network. Constantly talking to new people. I'm constantly finding new people, because our job, as Melanie Mitro, who was the top coach in our company for years, says you are a professional friend maker. You got to be okay with that. And I'm totally okay with that. I love that process. I love meeting new people. I love talking to them. And the best part for me is it doesn't have to happen face to face. Because like I said, I'm an introvert. So I'm totally cool with talking to people over the internet, like all day long. I think it's the greatest thing ever. So you've got to be a professional friend maker. That is your job. All right. So with that, inviting, for those of you that are wondering, that's going to come from people watching your stories, people who comment or like on your posts. You're going to go through your friends list, because guess what? They're already friends with you. So at some point in time, they've accepted your friend request, or they sent you a friend request. So they are your friend. You're having, some type of dialogue with them, or people who follow you on Instagram. So those are all people that you have to invite, and you're constantly adding to that. And then after you do invites, then you're constantly following up, because that's your job. Your job is the follow-up. All right, personal development, huge. Set a goal, at least minimum 10 minutes. Oh my, I need so much more than that. I need like 2 hours a day of personal development. I do personal development all day long. So podcasts, audiobooks, for those of you like, I have no attention span. I need to sit down, and I can't sit down and read a book. I need to listen. There you go. So many options. Don't use it as an excuse. You can't get personal development in, guys, in your car, when you're driving, folding laundry, doing dishes. My kids listen to it. It's awesome for your kids to hear it. There's personal development, but there's also professional development. So you need to have both in your life. You need to be working on you to be the best you, the best coach, the best mom, the best wife. So do the things that you need for you. But then professional development, I've got a couple things listed there that you guys can write down. I will say Build to Last by Keith Callahan is an absolute must. I suggest getting that one ASAP if you haven't not already gotten that one. All right, let's talk our 4 vitals. How are we on time? Okay, we're good. You have 4 of them. And like I said, the most missed one is that top one up there, the inviting. You are sharing your journey every day. Yes, you are connecting with people. You are building relationships, and then you get to invite. That is so crucial. But all of that starts with, you're doing your workout every day, you're drinking your Shakeology, you're product of the product, you're following nutrition plans, you're using the other products that we have, and you're sharing that. That's being a product of the product. Doing personal development every day, doing your affirmations, which are your I am statements, and then we celebrate and recognize others. Huge piece to this. Constantly giving to others. I'm a big believer in what you give out is what you get back. So the more that you celebrate and recognize others, the more good that comes back to you guys. All right, let's talk building belief, because I think this is such a huge part, because obviously I have the word tattooed on my wrist. Believing in myself was a huge part of my journey. I did not believe in myself when I started this, guys. It took so much time to really grow that. But I think there are 4 main parts to building that belief as a coach. Number 1, as you come in, you're going to build that belief in our fitness programs and believe in them 100%. Like, you believe in what they do for people and what they've done for yourself. You believe in Shakeology. You have to believe in Shakeology, and you've got to believe in our nutrition programs and any other products that you're using, and you're sharing that with other people. So that's where the main start has to happen. When you have that belief in that, and you see your challengers who have that belief in that, that's step 1. That's that first step of belief. Second is believe in our business opportunity. If you are still like sitting and thinking that this isn't legit or this can't happen for you, then you haven't grown that belief in our opportunity. And maybe it's because you haven't seen success yet, or you haven't really had anyone close to you that's seen that success. But I am here to tell you, it is real. It is a thing that can truly happen. It has happened for me. It's happened for many others that I'm around. It's happened for members on our team. And you've got to believe in that part if you're truly wanting to build your business and help other people to build theirs. Third belief is in our CEO, in the leaders in our company, and in your team. You've got to believe in all of those things. And really, guys, you don't see those things until you go to live events like Summit. You don't really understand who the leaders are in our company and really what they've done, or our CEO, if you're not going to any type of an event where they are at and sharing, or even getting on trainings or getting on the things that they offer to us. You need to make that a huge part of what you're doing. And then obviously believing in your team. Like I say constantly all the time, staying connected to our team is such a huge part of this. It is Team Beachbody. You have this big, huge team, but then you all have your own teams, and staying connected to that is huge. And last, believing in yourself. You know, if you don't grow that and build that, people are going to see right through it. So, you know, in the beginning, I know I struggled so much with believing in myself, but I just kept going, and I surrounded myself with other people who believed. I made sure I went to live events. I did as many of the trainings I could get my hands on. I just dove into everything that this offered. And in that process, I just started to really believe in myself more, that I could do this too. And it can happen. So those are the 4. Okay. Okay, these are like the things on the outside that you should be doing outside of like an action hour. So yeah, answering emails, messaging, you know, customers back about questions, following up with prospects, going into like when we have stuff that's going on. Are you staying connected to like things that are being announced that are coming, new products, all that kind of stuff. Listen to the calls. If there's local events, are you going to them? Are you checking into your challenge groups? Are you calling, texting, emailing, encouraging someone? That's a huge part of this. Like, do that every day. Like, just make it a thing that every single day you encourage someone in some other way. Friend, customer, another coach, whatever. And then of course, posting. And we'll talk about that right now. I think that one's next. Okay. All right. Marketing and branding. Like, this could be a whole call, obviously, on its own, but just to kind of get some people just kind of understanding. Yes, we market, but guess what? You're not marketing Beachbody. You are marketing and branding yourself, you. People say all the time, how do I make myself different from all of the other coaches out there? Well, guess what? You already are. If you're being yourself, you're already your own person. And you just have to know really though what your brand is. So that comes down to what's your passion? Like what gets you like fired up about doing this? What drives you to want to be a part of this? And so social media is where you're at. That is your vehicle to get to drive, to share your passion and share your brand and put it out there. So posting results and your journey and sharing your story. Like, it's so easy to just like put a sweaty selfie up there and be like, yay me, I did my workout. Well, guess what? People are just like zipping by that because they don't care. They don't care that you chose to sweat today. In fact, some people are going to be like, I'm so sick of seeing that sweaty selfie. But guess what? If you put something on there that is super vulnerable, or you share your story, or you get a little more meat to what is going on, then you're getting people to understand there's a lot more to what you're doing than just saying, yay me, I did my workout. How did you feel before you started making your workout a priority in your life? How did you feel right before you decide to push play? How do you feel now? Like, sharing how you feel is how you're connecting with people. So sharing that journey. 2, consistency. So I said all the time, the stopping and the starting over and over and over, it is not going to work. Not going to work. If you continue to stop and start and stop and start, you lose your people because they're not going to follow that. They're not going to follow people who are not consistent in what they're doing. That's not motivating to people. That's not inspiring to people to see people who just constantly keep quitting. They're going to go follow somebody who shows up every day, even when it sucks, even when they don't want to, because they share that. So be consistent. Be who you are and be consistent with sharing that part. Picture quality. This is so huge because yes, we are marketing. This is not about putting on makeup and being perfect and being all that, but people aren't going to stop, guys, when they're scrolling, because that's what people do. They scroll and scroll and scroll until something catches their eye and then they stop. Are your pictures bright? Are your pictures of you where they can see what's going on? Is it grabbing their attention? If it's a dark picture, they're not going to stop. They're going to just keep scrolling. If it's not something that's going to make them stop and read your post, then you're wasting your time. So make sure that you're taking time to find things that brighten up your pictures a little bit. You know, you just want to make it a little more attractive in a way so that it makes them want to stop. All right, so be you. By being you, you attract your people. You cannot be like somebody else. You cannot follow another coach and try to post like they do or try to be like they do, because you're not going to be genuine. And then you're not going to find your people if you are just trying to be like somebody else. Be who you are so that you can attract your people. Don't be annoying. I say that because how many of us are annoyed by people who constantly blast like, here's our specials, come get our deals of the month or whatever. I'm just like, really? That's annoying to me. So we don't do that. That's not what we are. That's not what we do. So don't be annoying and put up a stock picture. Like we just had a new product come out, and that's the last thing you want to do is just put a stock picture of that product and be like, here's our new special. Like, no. That is so far from what we do, guys. You want to be sharing, maybe you used that product today after your workout. Talk about why. Why are you using that? You don't even have to use the name of it because you want people to be asking you what it is that you're using, right? All right, last one on this, expand your network and use personal development to add value. So expanding your network is how you can constantly, or you can never say that you're running out of people to talk to because you're always adding, and then using your personal development to add value. I do this all the time. Don't say you don't know what to post about, because the first thing I'm going to ask you is what's your personal development, because obviously you're not doing any if you don't know what to post about. Personal development helps you to post. You read something, you listen to something, you're like, oh, I like that. Write it down. Guess what? You have your post for today. So share what you are taking in. That is giving. You're adding value to people's lives by sharing the things that you are learning along the way. All right. Last one. Here we go. So this opportunity, guys, can absolutely 100% be life-changing for you. I mean, honestly, when I look back over the last 9 years, like it still makes me laugh at like what has changed in my life, and it never would have if I wouldn't have kept going. But things happen. Like you're going to hit roadblocks. You're going to hit people who think you're silly. You're going to hit people who think this is stupid. You're going to have people who don't support you. You're going to have people that quit on you. Like it's a business, and you just have to accept those things. But if you truly want things to change for you and your family, then you just have to keep your nose down. You got to stay plugged in with the people who are on this journey with you. You got to share your goals, be open with that, and know that this can absolutely change your life too. This opportunity absolutely can do that. All right, so that is all I have on all that. Let me stop share. All right, anybody, any questions or anything? Oh gosh, there's like, I hope there wasn't any questions. If anybody does, you can unmute if you have any questions. Oh, Christine, overthinking is not allowed. Thank you, Team Beachbody 411. That's where you want to go. Thanks, ladies. What kind of programs do you run during free groups? I love probably my best one is I do like a 5-day healthy mindset. And I use a lot of the things that I learned from 2B Mindset. And I just plug that in. They have to share every single day. They have to do their weigh-in. They basically follow the things that we learn in 2B Mindset, but I just have them do it for the 5 days. And it kind of helps them kind of understand, like, this is accountability. Like, that is how this works. So it helps people understand, like, this is what I do. You can come over and join the group, you know, so it kind of helps. But you can do, like, this week I'm doing a sugar detox because it's after Memorial Day. And so all I see people talking about is like, I need to get myself back on track. So I'm doing a 5-day sugar detox. So I just come up with 5 posts. I already scheduled them all in. It's work smarter, not harder. I've already scheduled them. I plug in there every day. I pour into them. I message those people. I build relationships with them over the 5 days. And then on that last day, I hop in live and I do an invite to my challenge group, because that's obviously our purpose. Like, we want people to understand there's a whole world they can be joining. Your why is huge and your why will change. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that. Your why will change, because as you hit goals and things in your life change, like you know, your husband's job may change. So your goals and your whys may change, or you may have kids in the whole process. So your why is going to change again. So your why absolutely can change. Can you put the personal development list back up for a second? Yes. Actually, Courtney, I'll take a picture of it and I'll put it in the team page for you, because I'm not very smart and it'll take me like 5 hours to go back and find it now. Okay. Anything else? Yes, get over your damn self is an absolute must. I call that kind of like our Bible to this business, because she literally like holds your hand and says, do this. Like, if you do not have that book, I think I've read it 3 times. It's like bent, highlighted, like looks like my Bible. Basically. All right. Anybody else want to add anything? Questions? All right. Well, I will get this recording up so you guys can have it, pass it on, share it. Hopefully it helps. Just a way to kind of help people see kind of the big picture, and then obviously then go into a training. That's huge. And I mean, but hopefully people will. All right.